Yeah, right. I know what I was doing last. I was about to get ready to harvest my soybeans. Okay, so for this year, I usually take this field and field number 8 as sorghum, and then 2 as soybean, but now we're doing all soybean because I did map to figure out that like, we have enough sorghum to provide for 1.5 year of operation. So by the time I get that second harvest, then I should be able to sorghum plants. Alright, let's start this. I'm so glad I got my new trailer because with my other trailer, it had exactly as much capacity with my combine, and literally I couldn't fit any more like product after I filled my combine that I dumped into the trailer I used to have. I could not fill it even more, so I have to keep going back and forth. But now I can take at least I want to say almost 3 3/4 of this combine full, so that's pretty nice. No more having to get someone to drive back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's just, ugh. And I'm trying to save up for another combine because this one's a little old. Oh, I will after I go take a shower or before I take a shower. I am so sorry. I feel bad. I'm like, oh, I was gonna see your castle like literally like 2 days ago. I did. I'm like, ugh. Scott put a video, free water forever legally. You know that's not that difficult to achieve if, you know, if you live out in the country. It's pretty, you know, it's pretty normal. Out in the country, the only thing you have to pay for in terms of water is pumping. When you get water reservoirs so big out here, you can literally just burn as much water as you want. We could literally fill up a pool's worth of water, dump it in the middle of the woods, and we would just be like, that's fine. I mean, what? I calculated here, I think we have like over 4 million gallons of capacity, which is equivalent to at least, I'm going to say, about 5 to 6 Olympian swimming pools of water. And I calculated it, like if we didn't get a drop of water in those 2 new ponds we have, and we were to consume at our constant rate, it would take us 11.5 years to consume it all. And that's not resupplying, so yeah, not bad. I really can't wait to see what, how full these ponds are going to get with all this melt. You know, yeah, I never really factored that because right before this, like this is the first winter with our brand new extension, and, you know, all the water would probably just go down and out into the creek, never be seen again, but now it's going to start cooling. And although it's not really that, you know, maybe it's not the most, like, you know, worth it type thing to do, but I was almost thinking about, like, rerouting one of the streams that come into our property to get even more water. Dad's like, oh, wait, why did they run? But I actually was almost thinking about building a spillway, and I was almost about to build a little, like, trench from all the way across the yard. But he's like, oh, it may not go there because it's not, you know, it's not level. I'm almost thinking about making a little windmill, not a turbine, but a windmill to pump the water uphill and kind of add it to the the minor reservoir. I kind of like, I have a nickname for the ponds. The minor and the major, which the minor one is the east one, which is the smallest, and the major one is the west pond. I think that naming strategy goes along with real life. Like a lot of people name people, or not people, but they name things like major or minor because the major is always the bigger version of the minor. For example, if you have, like, again, 2 ponds, major is the biggest one, and then the minor is the smallest one. Like Diomede Islands, there's Diomede Major and Diomede Minor. I think Diomede Major is the western island, and Diomede Minor is the eastern one. So we own the minor, and Russia owns the major. Let me check and make sure I'm correct. I don't want to be talking on my ass. Yep, I am correct. I think, no, yeah, Big Diomede, and then we have Little Diomede. Which, Diomede Major is on the west side, and Diomede Minor is on the east side. So, in the United States, we own the smaller little island, and Russia, I don't know, like, I say the Russia owns the big one. And right between this island is actually, well, technically, you could time travel here, because technically if you hop across the islands, you can hop across 2 time zones, which that's, like, you can literally enter tomorrow or yesterday. Although, here's the thing. Technically, no, you're not time traveling, because, you know, just because the eastern seaboard is in the, like, an hour ahead, that doesn't mean that, you know, they're in the future, and that doesn't mean California is in the past if you're a Midwesterner. I think the reason they just put an hour on there is because of the natural sunlight that gets hit, because, you know, where I live, of course, it's like, it's sunny in 12, whereas if we kept the hours the exact same, if you were living in China at 12 o'clock at noon, it'd just be dark. So I think, honestly, honestly, if you had to give me a guess, which it definitely is. But if I had to put money on my guess, it's definitely linked to the sunlight and not the physical time. Just makes things easier. Or a little bit more annoying. Skeeter? I miss her. I really want my doggo. Yeah. I had to wait a long time for that. Too long. But I'm grateful for how we can do it. At least we can get it, and it's not like we're never going to get it at all. I'm... But, like... Like, are we talking nationally or state? Yeah. Honestly, yeah, you could almost have her go without a surgery, but honestly, why would you want to not go take a surgery for a broken tendon? Honestly, that's just gonna be a hindrance. I feel like maybe she's calmed a little bit down. She still kind of messes with Yukon if Yukon messes with her. Play buddies, man, I tell you. Okay, stainless steel fertilizer tank and liquid fertilizer tank. Is this a physical? Is that like solid fertilizer tank? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go for a liquid because I've actually did the calculation. It's cheaper per liter if I go for liquid, but I don't know actually how much I can dispense. Like, does solid fertilizer systems dispense over faster? Do they dump them out faster, or do liquid ones go faster? If you don't know, some seeders, Sierra, they have like a fertilizer integration system. So actually inject liquid or solid fertilizer along with the seeds. So it effectively does fertilizing and seeding in one hit. But I've seen this near where I live. Have you ever seen, give me a second. I need to tilt this because it'll go off track. Have you ever seen one of these planters? Like the exact same blue one? Because I have. Give me a second. Have you seen the exact version of one of these bad boys? Because I have seen multiple. This. Ever heard of one? A seed drill means that you can literally just shoot seeds into the ground. No cultivating, no plowing is required. You can just literally plant, harvest, no cultivating at all. Which means that it basically reduces the amount of time it takes between harvest. And it's 18 meters wide, making it the widest planting apparatus in the entire game. I've actually seen one of these. I remember when I used to work in Metamora, and I actually saw one go down the street. I've seen a couple. So it cultivates, seeds, and fertilizes, which is a 3-in-1 deal. Yeah, that means, like, you don't have to go around and... You usually have to go plant, and then go around and seed, and then go around and fertilize. Not with that one. Mine will not cultivate, which means I have to cultivate it, which my cultivator is not as big as I would want it to be. Which is why I love this. And you might be wondering, why don't I get it? One, I don't have enough money. And two, I need 350 horsepower to pull it. My tractor's only got 225. So it ain't doing anything against that thing. I mean, it's an expensive unit. This thing is more expensive than some of the tractors. $250,000 is the price of it. No problem. Guys, if you hear me talking to someone, I'm not going mentally crazy. Not yet, at least. But I'm talking to my sister. You can't hear her because she privates her mic. Yeah, I'm wondering how much soybeans we're gonna get. I think we can get probably about like 50,000. I'm gonna put my money on probably. Actually, like 40,000 maybe. 40,000 seems correct. I did a calculation of soybeans, and I calculated we should be able to get about 90,000-ish soybean, like $90,000 of soybeans out of this. Wish we can get 90K. If we added those fields, 9, 7, and 6, and fused them together, we could get 90K. This field, I might keep it, either that, or I might, you know, switch it over to either part of my factory. You know, actually, I should pause myself there. Here's my plans for the future of my farm. The 3, 4, and 5 field are all one day going to be grassed over, and I'm going to turn that into a production factory. I'm going to just put a ton of production chains there. I'm most likely going to put ones that I don't need, so I need to be wary of like what I'm going to get into. But I'll definitely be putting a grain mill and a bunch of bakeries down first. So it's going to be like the main production area, but that I'm not going to do that until I get a bit more land. I could do it and I could save right now, but that would slash the amount of production I can make. So I think honestly, when I buy land beyond, like, I will consider making the plant until I get 9, 7, and 6 and fuse them all together. Okay, so here's my current, what? Okay, so here's the current agenda today. So we are going to be working to get a combine. After this, I want to get a Maxim, or not Maxim, those are gone, the Magnum. A minimum version of the Magnum will be acceptable because that should pull that big old cedar. After we get the cedar, actually after we get the Magnum, we're going to get that cedar. After I get that cedar, after I have the cedar and Magnum, I'm going to attempt to purchase 9, 7, and 6. I'm going to take a plow and fuse them together. If you actually don't know, Sierra, I have 3, 4, and 5. Like those fields are actually separate, but I fuse them together. That way I can work them as one field. More efficient. It's a very smart idea, because if you use AI workers to harvest your field, they have a better time working on that. Oh, acid reflex. Goodness gracious. Yeah, soybeans do not produce, you know, as much per acre as sorghum. So, for example, if I did like 2 or 3 roundabouts of this field with sorghum, I would have filled it. But I've done about almost 4 roundabouts, like 3.5 to be exact, and I just filled it with soybeans. However, soybeans are the best combine crop, meaning that if you had to take crops to be harvested by that combine, corn or normal header, like all types of headers you can put on them, soybeans is obviously number 1. Oats and like, I think canola and oats are like the worst, where barley and soybean is like goated. No pun intended. I love this little custom color trailer. You know, I did not realize is that could the pipe of my or the auger of my combine even get the soy or even reach? I luckily can dump them in because I've had Farmer Simulator experiences where I buy a trailer and I can't even put the pipe in the trailer, so I have to awkwardly shove it and angle the trailer. Like I have to like angle the trailer down with the combine in order to even get anything in it. It's so weird. And then that we don't even have to go back. We went from having a combine fill our trailer to 100% exactly, only to 28%. So we can take more. We don't have to keep going back and forth. So it'll save us on fuel and keep my tractor in better condition. I have to go run this thing into the shop and go get it fixed, and I have to go get some diesel for it. And you know what the sucky thing about combines is? Their fuel tanks are large, so it takes like $1,000 to $2,000 to refuel them. Like I ran the price, like calculation. You know, like a quad track. If you purchase diesel at $3 a gallon, it takes $1,500 to refuel them from near empty. $1,000. Can you imagine going to the gas station and buying $1,000 of diesel? I'd say I could drive a tractor to school, but when you're getting to like, I don't know, 12 miles, like literally 6 to 12 miles to the gallon, and it takes that much to refill it, yeah, maybe not. I cannot wait to get an upgrade on my combine and a tractor. Usually I would have replaced my tractor very quickly, or my combine, but I've waited. And the problem about upgrading a combine is it's usually the most expensive. Like the one I'm looking at, I need $300,000 to just buy it, and I need another 50 grand for the head. I think it's 50 grand? No, yeah, it's $300,000. And I will take the normal wheels. I will say, one thing they could do to make that case could have done to make the, oh, shit! Uh-oh. How... how did I do that? That's bullshit. That's the first time I've ever happened in my vehicle in a farming sim. I ran out of diesel. And now I am stuck on the field. My combine cannot move. Can I... okay, I think I might know how to fix this. Can I... oh, hell, I can't even put the pipe out. No worries, I think I know a workaround. There's actually a diesel trailer, so I could probably go lease one out, and I could go and... there it is. How much would it cost me to lease? $1,500. I can't even put the pipe out. That sucks. I could lease it, but I don't really want to lease all that I don't want to spend $1,500 to lease a friggin' diesel tank. I could reset the vehicle. Uh, I have to accept a defeat. I could reset it. But it would reset it in the parking lot, and I couldn't move it. I'm just gonna lease this diesel tank, and then I'm gonna go bring it over. That's a $1,500 loss. It's stupid because it showed like 5% diesel, but here's what's really stupid, Sarah. It shows like, you see the little like yellow and blue bar? It'll get down to like 5%, and it'll just go 0. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, I have, you know, an appropriate amount of diesel. I just die in the middle of the field. Yeah, that's correct. Womp Womp is really correct here. How many liters do I need to fill this thing? 378 liters of diesel. I was gonna refuel a little bit of it, and then I was just gonna bring it to the gas station and go get some more diesel. But I might as well just fill up the good amount of diesel. Oh, this thing steers so horrendously. I saw one of these exact fuel tanks once. I could have bought it for 30,000, but honestly, I really want to save money. Okay, let's refuel and get this diesel. Oh, I'm refueling my tractor. Whoops. That should be enough diesel. Let's say I could refuel my my forklift, but that's an electrical vehicle. I can't refuel an EV with diesel. Not really gonna work now either. Oh, I'm just dreaming of buying field 9, 7, and 6, fusing them all. If I had to buy a field after that, it'd probably be field 91. I hate a lot of the fields that are like all really have like the worst shapes, but whatever. Can't be picky. I hope she is too. I wonder what their reactions are to Sky, like how much they like her. She is. You know, I didn't never real. Oh! Okay, so you can actually refuel your vehicles from this. Let's say there's gotta be, they've gotta add the ability to like refuel the combine. With like in like, you know, make it where you don't have to go in the combine to go get to refuel it. It's probably gonna be like a couple liters, like literally 2 liters of diesel are remaining in that tank. I'm actually gonna go spend a little bit of fuel inside this combine. I'm gonna go get the extra 2 liters out, cause yes, I don't care. I'm not letting my money go to waste. Stupid thing about a lease is I can't get the money back from that. So that's a $1,500 loss. So I better keep an eye on my fuel from now on. I'm such a dumbass. Well, in my defense, I thought I had like 5% fuel left. I probably had like 1. Yeah, listen, Massey, I really love you, but I really want an axial flow. I love the axial flow. I'm a sucker for Chase. I can't. It's red. I love red. Wonder. I'm gonna have to take a guess. This thing was probably manufactured in the late '90s, maybe, maybe from like the late '80s or maybe late '90s, probably. Interesting about the thing about this combine is that a lot of the elements are exposed. I can imagine, like, I've seen how a combine works, and the amount of moving mechanisms must mean that combines are very maintenance-heavy machines. Because honestly, all those moving parts, one thing breaking sounds like an absolute nightmare. I like when I like when people are like, "Oh my god," because you have to keep paying and paying and paying. I'd rather just buy and own the thing. Ownership is nice. Leasing is nicer for the short term. I could have sold this thing probably for like 90% of its money. I don't know how much I would have gotten. So I'm just going to extract both a little bit of fuel from this. I could refuel. I have 371 liters of diesel. And I can take 378. I have 2 in my tank. Can't I, like, you know, dump my diesel into this? Like, I have just 2 liters. Yep. And you're gone. Oh, that was bad voice crack. Oh my god. Okay, let's pay attention to that fuel gauge from now on. That was such a dumbass thing for me to happen. Like, I shouldn't have done that. I need to go take this thing into the shop. I have 55 grand, so I can pay for it, which is... I have to lose money, but you can't make money when you can't make your equipment work. I mean, it'll work just fine. Just the horsepower will be reduced, and that's just not fun. Oh, yeah, we need to fix this just with me. We will after this harvest. We can survive. And I can sell my bread next November. I'll produce bread. Yeah, I will have about 16 pallets times 4, and that's 64 grand ish. Probably 64 to $70,000 I can make. So if I don't spend any amount of money, I will end up with about $110,000 plus the 70,000. Well, I'll get $180,000 after that, and this harvest of soybeans, I would have to get about 30,000, like $130,000. Actually, 150-ish after all the soybeans and the bread. So I still have a little bit of ways to go. At least I'm not playing on hard. I'm playing on medium. Are you procrastinating? Yeah. At the castle. Probably evidence that you're getting tired. I'd probably fill this combine by the end of this. Do I need to harvest soybeans to Metallica or something? Probably. You know what I really want to do kind of before I die? I want to drive a potato harvester in a quad track. Again, here's what it looks like, a potato harvester. That's a beet harvester. Let's look at this thing. $600,000 of tech rolling around on wheels. This is how your French fries are acquired, my friends. Potatoes are honestly just the best crop. Tater tots, French fries, mashed potatoes. And potatoes are awesome because if you have a war and they're ripe and the people burn the ground, you could still theoretically pull them up. So somewhat protected if I'm not wrong. Potatoes are honestly just a goated crop. How many tasty things you can happen or you can make from potatoes? Well, unless you're a horse, then your life sucks. I cannot ever be a horse because no tomatoes, no potatoes, no ketchup and fries. Big sad. Yeah, I need a better harvester. Yeah, I probably could take out a loan, but I hate loans. I mean, well, what's the interest in this game? Like, how much would a... How big of a loan can I take out on the FS25? Man, I remember my old strategy on Farming Simulator, like 2013. You take out a loan, you buy solar plants, you speed up the time, turn your Xbox off, or turn your TV off, turn it back on, and you are just making bank. Heaven forbid the power goes out in between it, because if you don't save, your ass was gone. Like, all your money that you made would just be deleted. And you get a wind turbine, and you can just make yourself rich. You don't even have to plant one crop at all. You don't have to plant one little crop in that game. Honestly, I wonder what the interest is per year. Like, actually, like real life. Yes, you are getting your money. You're getting it right now. However, the problem is you're borrowing the money and you have to give it back. And the problem with that is that let's say, for example, in real life, Chad, I took out a $30,000 loan. Well, that's the bank's money. They're like, hey, you get $30,000, which I put in my car. You can go, here you go, right? But you gotta pay us back, and every month you do not pay us back, you're gonna get interest. Which, if you guys don't know, is basically a percentage of the monthly bill that you get. It's like a tax. Now, the lower the interest, the better. So, with interest combined, you're actually paying more for your implement, or you're paying more. I pay more for my car because of the interest. Like, I'm probably going to pay like 32, 33, maybe all the way up to $35,000 for my car, even though it's like 31,000 because of the interest. But the trade-off is that I get my car right now. I don't have to wait 5 years to get it. I get it now. If you pay off your loan correctly, you'll increase your credit. If you don't, you will wreck your credit score. To get a loan, you need to have a high credit score, which is basically like brownie points if you're in the money world. Shows you how capable of a person you are. A high credit shows, hey, this guy's trustable. We can give money to him. Low credit means, hey, we probably shouldn't be giving the money to this guy. He's probably not going to pay it back. And, well, banks don't really like when people take their money and just run. It's kind of interesting how I feel like I know more financial information than a lot of my generation. But there's no way I cannot carry this trailer. I love knocking over the signs. Dunk. Ow. There we go. Have to skip that and make it go over. This trailer is so nice. It's much bigger than my other trailer. I'll have to upgrade this for a while. Because of my bread grind, I don't really have to use trailers that much. Let's see. The interest rate for loan, let's see. So I produced 14,000 liters of soybeans. Start doing some math. $44,000 off the field. Uh-oh. I I've seen, I had someone on my chat say that the drones were part of a thing called Project Bluebeam. In my head, I look it up, I'm like, what a freaking nutter. Literally, it's literally a conspiracy theory stating that the government is going to use UFOs to destroy all, like, religions and, like, in place some sort of like new world order. I am not joking. I learned that. I learned that from this one guy on my chat. I looked it up after one person my had said my chat said that. I'm like, wow, that is utterly bogus. And I remember someone saying Project Bluebeam was happening because somebody because the parking lot lights were flickering. I'm like, you've never heard of this thing called electrical short? You know, it's when you put power through cords so long and the wiring kind of gets frayed and shit. Like, you have zero comprehension of basic electrical maintenance. Like, literally, everybody should be able to know that when you work wires so long, they just break and fray. You know, the society's gotten a little bit of some brain cell reduction when people are blaming parking lot lights flickering on a conspiracy theory. Like, why? Dude, we are deteriorating this harvester fast. We might have to fix it mid-harvest. Throw a water bottle. Why is he throwing water bottles for a build? Why is this guy throwing water bottles for a build here? What are you talking about? But so what's going on with this guy's head? We talk about like Sky's skull or something. Like, what's wrong with his skull? Huh. That's weird. Wonder why it's like not taking out. It's only going too wide, like 2 little rows wide. Man, my harvester started, like my combine, its MSRP is $104,500, and I've used it so much that if I were to sell it, I'd get $18,000 off it. This combine, I would get less money off this combine than my cultivator. Like, it's like $27,000 my cultivator is. Probably because it's newer. What? Nice. Holy shit! I'm at 7%. I better go get this fixed after I harvest this field. I've already burnt through at least what looks like to be almost like a seventh or an eighth of my tank of diesel. Are you joking? I am consuming a lot of fuel. My combine is starting to, it's about to get broken, which means if it gets fully broken, it'll still work, but I operate only about 70% of the horsepower, which means I can't have as much strength in my combine, so I usually have to go get it fixed like my tractor. Luckily I got a bit of money, so I can go fix. It's ear raping. Oh my god. There, 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 there. That hits hard. Get the oh. I love that. That's amazing. I love the instrumental to that. That's amazing. Feels like this thing's super slow. Honestly, I couldn't really increase the yield, I don't think, that much more. Only like 3% more, so I'm getting a pretty good efficiency. Better than I was getting before. How's my header doing? Not much better now, ain't it? I have to bring the header. How's the header trailer? 83%. Not bad. Oof. Every second of this, me driving the Cyberster makes me want an axial flow with an 45-foot head. What are you listening to now? Oh man, I got some interesting things to share with you, but if I shared them on stream, they'd probably, you know, I don't know. Oh man. I might. Oh man, I might have to go get my penny boxes early. There we go. I'm finally at my final pass, and I have 1% of condition. I am going to definitely take this to the shop and fix it. Yeah, I will. Actually, you know what, chat? I'm gonna finish this row. I'm going to just take a second, a little bit of a break. So, yeah. Okay, harvesting is fun, but not when you have a little tiny baby combine. Usually you start with a head on the combine that's half the width of this one, but luckily this one's a better header on the... How's my trailer? Isn't it over there? Oh, it's over there. Like, where is it? Usually the render distance can pop it in. Not yet. I'm gonna empty this out in the joint. $14,400 soybeans. Nice. Alright guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back. I'm gonna go shower. After I come back, we're gonna fix the combine. We're gonna plow. We're gonna finish, you know, cultivating the other stuff. I'm probably just gonna put an AI, start cultivating, and after that, yeah, we're doing pretty good. The ERB